Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Katmia.
Welcome to the This Will Not Chat.
Ooh, you sound like Count Dracula.
Your obsession.
Sorry, I am obsessed.
Your obsession.
Oh my god.
Your obsession.
Can you please?
Did you not know? Hold on. I just said let's not talk about it, and then you threw me off. Okay, do you know how hard it is right now?
You're rambling,
bro.
You're rambling.
I am trying not to. Like, I'm literally diverting my eyes.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Can you tell everyone? Can you tell the viewers? What are you talking about?
Katmia thought it would be funny to tell me and remind me that why are my cheeks already hurting? We just started. You decided to remind me that I like to look at the camera during the intro. So I made it a point. I still have not looked at the camera. I made it a point to look directly at you. I'm like a horse.
You're so focused.
I'm like a horse with like
blinders.
The blinders. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like
tunneled in, locked in.
I'm dying over here. You can't put me in a box.
But then what? I know.
And then the first thing that you do is look at the camera.
And what did you say we shouldn't talk about?
Me looking into the camera.
This is like when people time travel.
My cheeks hurt already.
I feel it. Do you feel it right here?
Right there.
Right there.
Why does that feel good?
I know.
No, you know what feels even better?
Oh, what? Oh, my God. Yes. What is... There's some muscle in there, I think. That does feel so good. Do you ever do this just like randomly?
Look this.
I'm like, oh, my God, yes.
This is going to be our...
This is like our Woo-saw moment.
This is what we're going to put as our thumbnail. Us pushing our cheeks.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I already have cheeks for days. We don't need to, like, give me more cheeks.
I know, but the little, like, that feels so good.
So
It's like a massage.
Especially when you've been laughing too much. Mm-hmm. That muscle, I think, they say it takes more muscles to frown than to laugh.
Yes.
I don't know if that's true. Because I don't ever massage my face after I frown. But I have to massage it after I laugh because my cheeks hurt. Do your cheeks hurt?
It takes more to frown.
But
those are our strong muscles because we frown more than we smile. So that's why it doesn't hurt. So
no, but that's not what they didn't say anything about strength. They said it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
But when you work out a muscle that you've never worked out, it hurts.
Bro, we are laughing all the time.
I know.
It shouldn't hurt us anymore. We should be like plastic surgery over here. We can feel nothing.
I get it. But we frown more. I have a resting...
Hey.
I've been told.
Wait. What would it be called for a man?
Yeah, same thing.
A resting beta face. Right?
Bro, why are you giving Leah more?
Listen, no, let's think about it, right? A B. You don't call a woman a beta, right? Beta is reserved for men. You're either alpha or you're beta, and you're not beta. But when you have that, you can use that, right?
Bro, I can already hear the comments from your sister.
She's probably falling off her chair
I'm
right
sure
now.
She loves to push the buttons.
Do you know what I love is when she sends me voice notes and I can't even understand her because she's just trying to tell me what she's laughing about that she's hearing. And all you hear is her wheezing and laughing and her trying to say, I can't. And then she's laughing and she's like, when he said, and it's like, I have no idea what she's saying, but
Bro, stop. Stop. You're so dumb.
Oh my God.
You're
okay,
so
now you're
dumb.
free. No, you've broken it. Now
You're
it's
so
like
dumb.
your
How
little
long
bird.
Did I make it? It was like 5 minutes.
The bird that's come out of its egg. You broke out. There you
tweet. Dummy. I gotta live with this.
Listen, okay. Can we please talk about our bangs for a moment? Not our bangs.
Our bangs? Okay, talk about your bangs.
You would look awful with bangs. I just want to say that would be like, there's actually, I don't know that I've ever seen a man with bangs. You have? I don't think I've ever seen a man with bangs. Even if you comb your hair forward. Interesting.
Well, hold on.
Oh, yes. I can see what you're saying now.
It's the bowl cut.
It is.
So a bowl cut is a man's bangs.
It is. I can see that.
Wait a second.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday we saw bangs on the guy.
We did?
That dude with that mullet. That mullet
was... Oh,
my
gosh. I guess you're right.
That mullet was impressive.
That was it's amazing how some things, some hairstyles...
Like time travel. That was time travel mullet.
It's amazing how some hairstyles have just survived all the trends and all the fads.
And you can see where they're where they're from.
I guess. But I feel like I've never laughed harder with my bangs when I showed my family.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, because the disbelief, right? So I took a picture. Oh, you can post it. I took a picture and I sent it to the family chat like,
You know what?
What do you think?
I need to start doing this.
What do you think?
Hold on.
Oh, no. Now you've thrown me off.
No, I haven't. Keep talking.
Okay, let me regroup myself. I sent it to the family chat and I said to them, what do you think? Something like that, right? And we were in the middle of making dinner, and right now Apple did that new update where it can summarize your messages, right? So when I come back to my phone, you've got to post that as well, okay? It just comes back. It says something about, some random little thing and overwhelmingly negative responses. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? And I open it and everybody is just dragging me. They're dragging me for the bangs, right? And I was just like, wow, I didn't expect that, right? I know some people are going to like bangs, some people are not, but I didn't expect that. It was just it was very unusual, right? Because I think in my family anyway, one person's always going to be the one who is the first one to say something, and many will stay quiet because they don't want to do anything. Not everyone's going to be so outright and out there in giving their opinion, right? But it was very opinionated and very negative.
It was extremely. It was so negative that I had to ask if everyone was kidding.
Right. And then it turns out that the reason everyone's being negative is because they think it's fake. So they're just making fun of me, right? Listen, the first person that I had actually sent that picture to was Nikki, right? And Nikki sends me back, oh my gosh, is that a clip-on? Or are you thinking of cutting it like that? And I sent her back, oh, it's cut. I mean, there's no thinking about it, right? It's done.
It did look a little fake.
Well, I know. And then I went back and I looked at it and it was very glossy. My hair was so shiny. It was so black. Even when I went to work the next day, right? Because mind you, it was during the middle of the work week. It was one of those. And if you're a girl, you know what I'm talking about, right? You've gone and all of a sudden something possesses you and you're like, I need bangs. That's it. I don't know who goes to their hairstylist to get them done. I just take a scissor and I cut myself. I have never gone to a hairstylist and said, do it for me.
You at least are able to do it like right? Because we've seen some horror.
I know, and I feel so bad for them because it must be their first time.
I actually I looked some up after, just because the conversation was happening,
Right.
and those are just always so funny. My favorite is the one where they do like the ponytail and like they could grab it all in the front, and they think that one cut is gonna do it, and when they cut it, they have like this like V-shaped disaster on their head.
And the thing is that a lot of influencers, they make it look so easy, right? And they show you a styled version of their bangs first, and then they show you this is how you cut them. And you're like, oh my gosh, if I cut them exactly like that, which is very easy instructions, it's going to look exactly like that.
Yeah, but listen, the shape of your face, the type
that,
of forehead
it's
that you
the
have,
hairspray
the
and
hair,
the dry
all
shampoo
that kind of
and the curling iron and the everything that you do to make it look that way.
Well,
plus your hair type.
But look, it just happened to me too, where I told you I felt like I had a bad haircut. It didn't look bad, right?
But you know.
But it didn't look bad when I styled it. But I wear a hat most of the time, right? So when I don't wear a hat and I took off and I forgot what it was I forgot where we went or where we were going or whatever, and I was like, I'm not gonna wear a hat today. I'm just gonna kind of mess up my hair a little bit and go like that. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, this is so bad, because he cut my hair to my style. He didn't style my hair to my hair with my haircut. Did that make sense?
I
Probably
do. I
not.
No, I know because
Like
I've seen it.
He didn't cut my hair, and then I take my hair and style it to the way I wear it. He styled my hair and cut it so that it looked good in the style.
Right.
But when it's sitting,
when it's not styled.
yeah, when it's not styled,
It's off.
It's like short on one side or longer on this side or whatever, and it just looked bad.
And is this the same guy you've gone to?
Always.
Because he's given you a good haircut before, so I don't
Always.
understand. You shouldn't have gone styled.
I didn't go style.
Then how would he even know that?
Because I told him how because the thing is,
to me, that sounds like someone who doesn't actually know how to cut hair.
The thing is, I don't always cut my hair. I don't always cut the top. So I get like a short cut, and then I'll go twice, and all I do is cut the sides, and just give a little bit of a fade and leave the top growing a little bit long. I like the top of my hair long, right? So, but sometimes I have to cut it and allow it to grow back, as it whatever.
Right.
But so this time I told him, I was like, yeah, go ahead and cut it, and he cut it. It was wrecked. I was not happy with it.
Yeah.
And
that's the worst.
The good thing is my hair grows back so fast.
Well, and what is the amount of hair that you actually have to grow back to be comfortable again and be able to fix a mess, right?
Yeah.
Because even like with the bangs, right? If you get bangs and you get tired of bangs, they grow out.
Well,
you just need to wait it out a little bit.
When I had my hair long, I was tired of long hair, and all of a sudden, boom, it was gone, and I went back to my short hair.
Right.
And when I had my hair styled where I just had long hair on the top and I was faded on the sides, when I decided I wanted to leave long hair, I went through a spot where it was horrible because the hair on the side was getting longer, but it was shorter, and it was like kind of like messy. But all I did was just wear a hat during that time. Like, as a guy, you're able to kind of hide the progression, but for you, growing your bangs back out is an ordeal.
That's not an ordeal. That's what I'm trying to say.
Why?
It's not a big deal. Because if you get tired of your bangs, you can always clip them back. You can change your hairstyle so that you don't have to show bangs,
I guess.
It's not, to me, it's not a big deal. I mean, if you...
just like clip them or whatever?
Yeah, you can clip them back. You can just make them disappear, right? So the hair grows back out. I think what's very devastating to a woman with long hair is when they have a bad haircut. Because now that completely changes your face.
Where was it that we just saw?
Bro, I was just talking to a coworker about me with the worst haircut that I had. You remember Edna from Incredibles? Do you remember when I had that haircut?
Remind me.
I went to get the Victoria Beckham haircut, which
Remember
is
the Jennifer Aniston haircut?
yeah, and everybody.
A lot of people tried to do that, but their face did not hold that.
And also the thing is, you don't realize you need. I don't know that people use wax nowadays as much as it was used during that time for that hair, but there's different products that you have to use to make your hair look a certain way, right? And it's not just the haircut, it's the styling of it afterwards as well. But Victoria had I think it's called an A-line bob, where it's short and comes in
The
here, right?
Karen haircut.
I guess, but she made it famous and it was so pretty on her. And I went and I was like, I'm doing something drastic. And the moment that
Bro,
this
I
lady,
don't remember.
and there's
that
a picture
haircut.
of it.
Where?
Do you remember that giant thing that we had when
With
the
all the
kids
little
were
pictures?
little? Yes. And we
Where?
were at Universal because the picture is taken in the Jurassic Park ride where you get wet. That's where we
Yeah,
were standing.
I don't remember.
And I look like Edna because my hair was here.
Bro, you cut your hair that short?
Listen, it was not supposed to be that short. But she kept cutting and straightening. And she was like, oh, I'm straightening. And I was like, you know, it's supposed to be like long here, right? And she was like, yeah, don't worry, right? And then she brings the man clippers to go in the back of my head. And that's when I knew. You're putting man clippers? She buzzed me. She buzzed me in the back. Yoli has now, that's my hairdresser, has now since told me that the problem with this lady is that all she did was cut men's hair.
Is that you?
Okay. Oh, it might be. I forgot to put myself on Do Not Disturb. Wait, that's the wrong one. Focus. Do Not Disturb.
That
She
she's
told me
she's
she-
only accustomed
she-
to doing men's hair.
To men's hair. So if she, and little old ladies who get the man hairstyle, right? So if you give her long hair, she's going to end up,
Messing it up.
she doesn't know how to do hairstyles. She no longer works with her or anything anymore. But I didn't know. And I left that day crying and I paid. That was me before.
And you
now
probably tipped her.
when, who knows? I just know that I was devastated. Because that's gonna take a while for you to get over that. Bangs you can clip back. This you can't fix. This is Edna.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's going to be months before you even get it down to a length where you can be happy with. So now I've gone the extreme, right? Where you're supposed to go every 3-4 months to get your ends trimmed so that your hair is healthy and all that stuff. No, I do my own trimming. I do my own hair care. And if I go, I haven't been to the salon in over a year. I even stopped with because I had highlights before.
Has it been that long?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yoli will even tell you it's been that long.
Well, you were going.
Next month, it's going to be a year since then it's not been over a year. It's been a year. Okay. That I haven't been there. And I was doing maintenance on it. I had highlights and I was like, that's it. I'm not upkeeping them anymore because it's just killing my hair, right? And it's too much. It's too much for me to have to keep going and doing all this stuff, and I'm done with it. I went to the store, I got a box. I dyed my hair completely one color, and I was like, that's it. That's it. So many people have come to tell me, do you know what color it is that your highlights are? Because it's such a beautiful, like rusty caramel. I love it. I'm thinking of doing something like that. And I have to explain to everybody.
Genetics.
No. I have to explain to everything that because I had highlights in my hair, when I took this solid dark brown color, the super highlighted areas didn't take color. So it took a lighter version of it, and it naturally gave me highlights that now my hair has grown out so much that it just sort of looks like you dipped my hair in color, and it's like this ombre-ish.
Ombre.
So it'll be It'll be a while. Let's see who gets that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, speaking of shows and movies, I am in the mood for something so epic. Do you ever have that feeling where you just like, we're such movie buffs, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
We love movies. I think it's hard for me to have a conversation with someone who doesn't get movie references or TV show references. When you make
You should see my conversations with my guys.
well, but your guys are understandable though.
I
They
know.
don't even speak the language.
Well, they know more than they
Then they let on.
let on. But I sometimes throw out movie references and I'm laughing by myself and I'm looking around and I'm like, anyone?
But see, like that right there was, and it's just so good.
Bueller.
You know? But then, like, there's, have you, I mean, I know that we talked to a couple people who have said, and I feel like you told me about this just recently, people who have said they don't watch movies. Oh, you were talking about Mr. Beast. When you heard the podcast that he said he doesn't, he just watches YouTube. But we've met people like that in real life. There's coworkers that I have who are like, oh no, I don't.
They don't see movies.
Movies have been. Have you seen this? Have you seen that? I mean, surely you have seen this.
But things have changed quite a bit now. Now a lot of it, there's not a lot of, like the theater just isn't the theater the way it used to be.
I was gonna say that.
It's
but
now
since
everything
COVID,
is now. Yeah, but everything now is like all these shows and like these miniseries.
I don't think that the movie industry has purposely shifted to going away from the theater. I just feel that it's been a while. Probably, I would say
stuff doesn't last in the theaters the way that it used to, and a lot of stuff is bombing. For example, I just read that Captain America Brave New World or whatever, the new one, did so bad that it's already coming to Disney Plus.
Wow.
They said that it's going to be like a month later, 4 weeks after the theater, it's going to be in Disney Plus. That's horrible for a movie.
Especially how that works.
A big budget movie like that.
Well, so here's the thing, right?
But Marvel in itself has been a disaster.
So I don't know if I've talked about this on the chat before about listening to podcasts, but there's a great podcast for anybody who enjoys listening to podcasts that's called Business Wars and then Business Movers. I told you Business Movers is Business Wars because they're done by Wondery, right? But the only thing that's really different is the theme song. That's it. It's the same format. It's the same everything, just different perspectives, right? And so one's
talking about a battle between two companies, and
the other one's just talking about the company, right? And where the company was and where it is now. That's it. Okay. But in listening to the latest one that they had about Disney and where it is and the battle that it's in right now, there has been such a shift in, I think their priorities was one of them. Their leadership is wrong, right? And
the lady who took over for Marvel, she got fired this past week.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because of the bomb with the Brave New World or whatever. It was so bad that they're gonna clean house. They have to do something.
But the thing is, the problem is up top. It's the CEO.
She is the top.
No. The CEO of Disney.
No. But remember, even though they're two different companies, even though they're under one umbrella, the one that runs Marvel is the one that runs Marvel. Bro, you've
got to listen to the podcast. It was the way that it was. And then Disney said, we're absorbing you and we're taking control, and we're leaving you in charge, but we have ultimate say.
Right. But
and that's when things went sideways.
The lady that they put in charge from Disney is the one that got fired.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But at the very, very top, they brought back the CEO who was already retired. And they brought him back to try to revitalize Disney because Disney's taken a plunge with too many controversial things happening, too involved in politics and all of that stuff, that it's just like, entertain us, please. Don't get involved in all of this extra stuff,
I
right?
think that's where the problem is. They forgot to entertain us.
But he is a problem. And he has made decisions that are taking Disney away from the core of what it used to be, right? Pixar was doing so fantastic before Disney ate them up. And it's like, we're in charge now. Where's Pixar now? Where's the last good movie that Pixar made? That's gone.
Yeah,
It's
but
gone.
people may disagree with you because they feel the Feelings one. What is that one?
Mm-hmm.
The Feelings one. They feel that that's a good movie.
Yeah, but that's probably the last good one that was made.
It just came out with a new one.
Well,
recently.
no. And then that's the new one, right? But there's been a big shift from where they started to where they're at now. Their acquisition of Fox is bleeding them by the millions, right? But it's the greed that they had. Fox has always been like this little adversary that they had. And now it's finally, they've come and they've consumed them. And it's been a bad acquisition for them. So it's like one bad decision after another that they've made.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because they're such a powerhouse and they have the tools to make such amazing movies. You had people who were making blockbuster films, blockbuster Pixar movies. You had people who were in the right place for that, but you wanted the glory for it. And so you shooed them away. And now everything you're making is bombing. What was the Eternals? I think it was.
Oh, yeah, but all those were.
The new Ant-Man movie is such trash.
Well, most of that stuff is.
But that's what I'm saying. We went from having something so amazing to to knock on DC, but DC doesn't make good movies.
They don't, but they know that.
Right, but Marvel was something that everyone knew was going to make amazing movies, and then now you're kind of the same. Everybody's the same now.
After the snap, and they started killing everyone off and like moving things into.
But I think that even
into like the sad thing.
Too many worlds.
Yeah, it's too many worlds and too many like variations and that kind of stuff. Why does Deadpool continue to do okay? The last Deadpool movie was great. Mm-hmm. Like, why is it that they keep on? Because they're thinking completely outside of the box, But like, they've been talking about like, bringing X-Men back. They've been talking about there are things that are going to happen here that is going to need to be hit out of the park so that they revitalize. Otherwise, the whole Marvel thing is just going to go crashing down.
But obviously they've had flops, right? Because there have been. I always liked Daredevil. I liked it. And I think it's because I liked who was in the movie.
Yeah, but there's controversies that are...
I'm saying the original one.
I know.
That people make
with
fun
Ben
of.
Affleck?
Yeah. And people are like, such a horrible... It may have, but I liked it. I thought it was fine, right?
Yeah, but look, they're talking about bringing back Ghost Rider. To redo Ghost Rider.
I thought Ghost Rider was
horrible. It was Nicolas Cage, like.
But I'm saying, obviously, they're going to have their hits and they're going to have their bad ones. But everybody agreed the Avengers was going so strong, and then all of a sudden, tanked, completely tanked. I don't think it was because of the snap.
I think what they're gonna do now.
I don't think it was because of the snap.
Yeah, I think if what they do now actually works, I think they'll be okay. But they need to come out of some of the, some of the holes. Anyways.
But speaking of which, right? I feel that it has been maybe since 2019, since then, maybe 2020. I know COVID affected the movies greatly, not just in where we watch them, but in production of them and all that stuff. But there has been a lack of creative expression, I feel, in movies. Everything that's coming out, most of everything that's coming out is a remake. Everything is being rebooted. Look at Harry Potter, for example. Okay.
Bro, this is gonna become an episode about movies and TV shows again.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to not have another episode like that. Maybe.
Okay.
What? Let's talk about Harry Potter because I do want to say something about Harry Potter. Let's talk about this, and then we can shift. No?
I think we should just let it go wherever it goes.
Okay, we'll let it go where it goes.
What were you going to say about Harry Potter?
No, go. Start your sentence.
I was just going to say that they've now decided to redo Harry Potter. It's unnecessary. If you had the characters of Harry Potter, let's say the main ones, right? If you had Daniel Radcliffe, who was in his 50s, right? And he did Harry Potter when he was 13 years old, right? And he was in his 50s, and they were saying, let's reboot it. I get it. Why you would want to reboot it, okay? Bro, the guy is in his late 20s?
No, he's not.
Well, how old is he? 30 years old, maybe?
How old is he?
Maybe 30. I was going to say he was like 28.
35 years old.
Okay, he's 35 years old. And when was his last movie that he made? When he was 18, 19 years old?
No. Bro, it's been 25 years since Harry Potter.
Okay. Do you feel like Harry Potter, the original Harry Potter,
It's been 15 years since it ended.
15 years since Deathly Hallows?
Yeah.
It has not been 15 years since
15 years. 2010.
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Deathly Hallows. Deathly Hallows Part 1 was 2010.
And then let's say that the other one was 2011 or 12.
Hold on.
All right.
It came a year after.
So you're talking about 14 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
14 years since the last movie came out.
Yeah, but 25 years since it started.
But do you actually think it needs a reboot? Do you feel like Sound of Music needs a reboot?
No.
Do you feel like Fiddler on the Roof?
Hold on.
Wait, what if they decided to reboot Lord of the Rings? Do you feel Lord of the Rings has been out way longer than Harry Potter has been out?
But Lord of the Rings went back and did
The Hobbit.
a prequel.
Yeah.
But listen to a difference of opinion.
I love the fact that we have different opinions actually for this because
I actually am kind of excited about the Harry Potter series.
Do you know what you also said? And I want to say it was on the chat that you said it. Mm-hmm. It may be in our last movie conversation that you were actually excited to watch Little Mermaid. Live action.
Before they came out with information about it.
No. It was with information. Go back and listen to that episode. You were like, well, maybe I'll watch it.
No.
You have not watched it.
Not after they named who was going to be and what they were doing. For goodness sakes, it was...
Everything has changed. It's just, you're not being true to the story.
It was not the story. It was not the story. You know? It's like if they were to remake Frozen and it was, a man who was Elsa. Like, come on. Like, the extreme was the extremes. But let's be fair. What they're doing with the Harry Potter series is very different from the Harry Potter movie. Because one is a movie and one is a series. So you're talking about 10 episodes per book. So you're talking about you're going to get 10 hours worth of storytelling for a book. So let's take Chamber of Secrets, for example. You're going to get in depth in Chamber of Secrets. Things that were completely missed in the movie because there just wasn't any time. So what does that do? It takes the book and it really dives deep into the book. So it gives you that much more. If they did that with Lord of the Rings, they're doing the cartoon series of Lord of the Rings.
But it's not Lord of the Rings. It's prior to Lord of the Rings.
Right, but I'm saying they're going back in and they're giving you in-depth stories.
If you were doing a
look at
cartoon series of Harry Potter, I can get behind that.
Yeah, but why not? What's the problem with it being a live action? Just because they're not, it's not the same characters. They are the same characters. It's different actors.
It's different actors, and you're already deviating from. You can't tell me that you want to stick true to the text and then start changing characters. This is one of the big problems
They
that
haven't changed any characters.
well, the people they have announced are playing characters are not as described in the book. It's the same thing as if
The ones
we
that are
decided that
confirmed-
Elsa is going to be a man.
No,
A man is going to play Elsa.
the ones that are confirmed, because
His name is going to be Elsa.
Severus Snape has not been confirmed, so that's not happening. That
So, you
was
know
somebody.
who should be Severus Snape?
The guy who played Kylo Ren.
Driver.
Yep.
He would make an amazing.
Let's see.
Anyway, I feel like this is, everyone's going to feel very different about it. I think there's some fans who want to say, don't touch it. It's good as it is. And then there's other people who are going to be excited about it. So that's the lovely thing about movies, is that you can,
The only person who has been confirmed for the Harry Potter series is John Lithgow
for Dumbledore.
He's the only person. They haven't even announced who is going to be Harry Potter, who is going to be Snape. Nobody.
I don't think the Fantastic Beasts did very good.
No.
But the reason that I was thinking about movies was because we do this a lot, where we will quote movies here and there, or we'll reenact something just to each other even, right? Just as part of our daily lingo.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's times on the chat where I have said something and I'm like, where's that from? And you're like,
Yeah,
I
but
have
you quote
idea.
because you quote movies that are your movies. It's like if I were to start quoting, I choose not to quote movies that are my movies.
Because I'm not going to know them.
Because you're not going to know. Well, you would kind of know them just because.
I wonder though.
they're
I wonder
stupid.
because that's the thing. It's like, so I think it's hard to pick what your favorite all-time movie is, because there's different genres, right? So can you say this one movie is the best movie for me, all-time favorite? This is the number one movie that's ever been made.
When I
without
look at my movies,
seeing the genres.
right? But when I look at, like, for me, the stuff
Like,
that
what are
is
your top 3 movies?
my top? I
That's
can't
good.
give you a specific movie. I can give you a line of movies. I can give you a list of movies that are always going to be up there for me.
So give me top 3.
I can't give you a top 3.
Why?
Because I can't right now. What I'm thinking, I can give you a top 3 of what I'm thinking right now. Tomorrow it could be different if I am digging through.
Because you're just a movie lover, so you don't.
There's a certain genre. Like last night,
Right, but
we
if
watched
somebody
Fifth
said
Element.
the best movie ever, Notting Hill.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb. The
And this was a guy.
I know.
And I was like,
for-
what?
like
In
yesterday-
the world, best movie?
Like yesterday, we watched Fifth Element. That's a movie. I love that movie. I enjoy that movie. Am I going to put it top something? Probably not. But if you put it on, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to enjoy it. I love the characters in it. I love the storyline of the movie. I love everything about it. You know? Happy Gilmore. Ace Ventura. Dumb and Dumber. Like all these type of movies like this, am I gonna put them at a top movie for me? No, because they just don't have that epic movie top feel. But are they movies that I
Because do
absolutely
you feel like
love?
you go on a mood? Because I feel like for me, it has got
It
to be
just
a mood.
shifts. It just shifts.
For me, it's got a
shifts.
mood. So if you're in the mood for something funny, you could give me the best epic movie, and I'm going to be like, it's good, but that's not what I'm needing right now, right? So it's based on mood. Would you agree that you feel the way?
Of course, it's based on mood.
No, but I'm saying I think some people, they would just watch Notting Hill on repeat if they could. Do you
There are
remember
people
when
that love
TVs
and get stuck on something.
Do you remember when TV channels would do a movie marathon?
Like the whole series.
Yeah. Do you remember?
I bet you
and
they
then
still do it. But
it's with
we don't have TV anymore.
probably they still do it on
Whoever has like cable
what was that
TV,
old TV? What was that old channel?
TCM,
I was gonna say there was
Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah, but wasn't there another one where they would put Lucy on repeat? Was it something with love? No.
I think it was Turner Classic Movies.
TV Land. TV Land.
Oh, TV Land.
Remember
Nick at Night.
Well, Nick at Night too.
Nick at Night did that for a long time.
But you know what I just realized? That the movie marathon that they used to do was what we just call binging now. Binge the Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah, but everything is now at a click, so you can click what you want to see.
Bro, back then you had to sit through the commercials. There was no DVR. Do you remember when there was no DVR?
Do you remember when you had a VHS tape and the only way to get to the movie was to watch 30 minutes of advertisements? And
why?
Because
there's a fast forward button.
I know, but that's the only way to get there. You would have to
to
fast forward through all
Oh.
that stuff. There wasn't a menu. You couldn't just click away. Now you get the previews if you want to see the previews, click on here and see the previews. Before,
Well, just
you
like
were
the
forced.
intermission.
Yeah, those were
We would have to
older
forward
movies.
the intermission on
Like
Ten
Fiddler on the Roof.
Commandments.
Fiddler
on the Roof has one. Yeah.
Fiddler on the Roof has one at the beginning, has one in the middle, and then it has a long play thing at the end.
And it's just, and I mean, you remember it was just so different, right? Because the old movies would start out with this everybody's name. I'm talking to the person who served coffee to the camera guy, got his name up there, and it was just
They
music.
still do that, though.
No, they don't start movies like that anymore.
Oh, not starting.
In the beginning,
No,
you
but
would have
hold
to
on,
eat
hold on.
all of that.
Hold on.
And
The
then
start-
finally,
I know, but at the start they only put the main guys. Those are.
it felt like
It's called something. There's
The
a
starring?
name for it. No,
What?
hold on.
the starring credits.
No.
Bro, today people are winning with the bingo card.
They're called when.
So since you're doing that, I'm gonna do my coffee. So I've recently switched, and I'm not doing almond milk anymore. I'm doing coconut milk, but it has a weird consistency that's a little hard to get over.
Top
So,
billing.
better for you, but it does taste like, I feel like it's mostly for me where it tastes like black coffee, but it's a lighter color. So, not hating it, not loving it, just enduring it.
It's called top billing.
Top billing.
Yes.
Oh, so your
So
top billed
it's-
cast gets there
Yeah,
first.
they get their, and it depends on if they get the full screen or they have to share the screen with another, because sometimes you get like 2 names or 3 names on there. So depending on how big of a star you are for the movie, then you get
the giant letters.
or you got to share the screen, and then you get that one last one where it's like the special guest and be like, and
Uncredited.
yeah, and it says like and Frank Sinatra as himself.
Yes.
Or whatever. Like you get one of those.
So
That's probably written in their contract where they're just like, my name better be at the beginning of it, or otherwise I'm not doing the movie. That's part of the deal.
So in the podcast that I'm listening to, they're talking about George Lucas and how Star Wars was born. Okay. And when he did a showing of Star Wars to a group of friends and people who were just supposed to, what do you think? He wasn't done with it yet, but it was just like this. I don't even know what it's called, where it's just a come in and
Like a preview?
I guess, right? And see it. Tell me what
A
you think.
screening?
A screening, but not of the finished product yet, right? It bombed with everybody who was there. They said, this scrolling story that you're telling in the beginning, who's going to sit there and read that, right? That's a terrible way to start, right? And what are those croissants that Leia is wearing on her head? Where did you get that idea from? And who is this Darth Vader that just comes onto the scene in the first movie and you don't even know who he is? There's no backstory. You have no idea. And everything that they were telling to him, he was like, yeah, but you're going to find out later. And yeah, I mean, it's not super long to read the front, the beginning of the movie. It's just,
It's called Somebody Who Knows What They're Doing.
listen,
Way ahead
he had
of their time.
Zero support, and it has become
I wonder
a
where those people are
religious
now.
following.
I wonder if those people sit back and they're like, "Wow, we
We
idiots."
missed out.
And now
They missed out.
And now they go and they're probably the ones standing in line saying, "I remember I sat in the first screening."
Do you know who helped him a lot with his movies and stuff? Francis Coppola. I didn't even know he worked with him as a director. But he believed in him that he even funded some of his movie projects as earlier. Because honestly, I only know George Lucas for Star Wars, but he's done other things that I didn't even know he had done.
What has he done?
There was something before Star Wars that he did that I feel like I've heard that name before of a movie. But I don't think I've ever seen anything.
Oh, he did American Graffiti.
That's it. And it's a story about him. It was a story about him growing up, his trouble with his dad and his neighborhood. People hated it. His friends hated it. When they did a screening for the public loved it. They loved it. And they said, shut it down. We don't want this movie.
And then, of course, Raiders of the Lost Ark and all the Indiana Jones movies.
I did not know that. I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Labyrinth was George Lucas. Howard the Duck. The Land Before Time.
Really?
Yeah. And then after that, it just goes straight into just all the Star Wars.
There was
stuff.
no other movie before that? It must have just been American.
It's a THX 19 or THX 1138.
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, so
It's a social science fiction film.
yeah, so that
produced by Francis Ford Coppola.
That's the one that he funded for him.
Oh, look at that. He was thinking already like Star Wars, like weird stuff. It had Robert Duvall in it.
And it won a lot of awards when it first came out, just in like movie festivals. But the people who were backing him from the studio backed out and said, we don't want anything to do with this. And look at what a megastar he is now.
Well,
and do you know that Steven Spielberg and him knew each other from way, way long ago? And when nobody wanted to back him with Star Wars, Steven Spielberg said, let's talk. Let me see what you got.
But that's the thing.
That friendship, that connection that they made.
But
who knows how long
that's the thing
ago?
with these guys. Sometimes what I feel is like you sometimes don't know where the connection is. Like, for example, Ben Affleck and
Matt Damon.
The fact that they went to school together, that they're best friends growing up, that they were just so like, we're going to do this, right? And then to actually do it. You know, that's a big
Together.
that's a big deal, and a lot of people miss that. The fact that they
And both of them stars in their own right.
yeah. Yeah, and a lot of these Saturday Night Live guys, you know, like Chris Rock, like okay, Adam
Chris
Sandler.
Rock?
Yeah. Adam Sandler and Chris Rock and
Chris Rock was on SNL?
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and he
I don't think I've ever seen a skit
he roomed with
where he was on SNL, not as a guest, but as a cast member. Bro, today is the day to Google.
Chris Rock. Chris Rock. Rick again, really?
Siri is so not helpful.
No, not at all. Chris Rock SNL. So he was on SNL from 1990 to 1993.
Who was he on there with around that same time?
So you had Adam Sandler, you had hold on, let me see. Let's see, 19 SNL cast. That's when like all these guys like Dana Carvey, Mike Myers, Phil
That's
Hartman,
when they were there.
Yeah, Kevin Nealon, Dennis Miller was on there. Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, David Spade, Tim Meadows, Rob Schneider, Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell was on with Chris Rock? Wow.
Daryl Hammond, Sherry O'Terry. If you see her, you know who that is. Anna Gasteyer, Molly Shannon, Norm Macdonald, John Lovitz. Those are the big names that were on SNL, and then they went on to have huge careers coming out of SNL. But they that cast was so huge all together on the screen at the same time. Like Lorne Michaels, he hit the lottery, and I think if you look back at SNL, I think that's when they were at their absolute prime. It was at the absolute best. They were getting the best host coming into to be part of the show, and then on top of it, they already had a cast that they could probably do it without a host because the show was so good just because of the skits that they had.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's movies that came out of SNL because of that cast. So you've got like Superstar, you've got
I'm surprised that
Night at the
never
Roxbury, you've got I can't think of the other movie. Like there's just so many different things that came out of that time frame. Oh, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep. Like these are all movies that came out of that time. You know, Blues Brothers came out of there. I know that's a little bit further back, but like Blues Brothers came out of there. And like there's just so much good, incredible stuff that came out of SNL. Because somebody had a vision that other people said no way.
Right, it's not going to work.
You can take the extreme on that. Jim Carrey went in and he did an interview and he auditioned for SNL and they told him, "No, you're not funny. You're not gonna, you don't fit." And he went.
Lorne Michaels says that's his.
He says that's his biggest regret. You know. But at the same time, did it benefit Jim Carrey? Because he went on to go on In Living Color, which was another great show during that time with the Wayans brothers. And he went on there and, you know, he was like he had more creative freedom than
he would have had in
SNL.
Well,
you know, we wouldn't have, I don't think we would have like Fire Marshal Bill and
that's what I was going to say when I stopped myself, that I was going to say I'm surprised that there wasn't a Fire Marshal Bill movie, but then I remembered he wasn't on SNL. That's why I stopped.
Yeah, but even that, like those things wouldn't make it as a movie because they're skits. They're funny when they're in like little spurts. But the
cable guy, he wasn't the cable guy in Living Color?
He had something, no, not in Living Color.
He didn't do any skits like that?
He did something similar, but it wasn't It wasn't.
It wasn't a movie
there was
born
a
out of that.
character that he developed out of it to make to go into the movie part of it.
Right.
But everyone has their different like trajectory for them to get to wherever they're gonna get to. But the fact that he even had that that opportunity. Look at Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. They came out of SNL. They did Wayne's World. Like those were like 2 or 3 movies that were created of that. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures was an idea that was born out of SNL, and Keanu Reeves wasn't on SNL, but they're ideas that were born out of SNL because of some minor skit, and somebody said, "Oh, let's take that and develop that into something else."
And that takes me back to what I was saying earlier. I feel like the creative element is missing, where things are just being remade. That I feel there's so many amazing stories out there that haven't been told. Again, like even thinking about this lady who was a Cuban spy during the whole Bay of Pigs situation, all that stuff, where she was the investigator for Cuban affairs for spies for us. She was the one in charge, and she was a spy herself. No one has ever told her story.
If you don't ever want to get caught, be the person investigating yourself.
Be the person investigating. No one has ever told her story. Nobody even knows who she is.
Are they making a movie?
No.
Or a show or something?
No, they've made plenty of podcasts about it, and there's books about it. But that's what I'm saying. It's like that's just one of God knows how many stories are out there that could be told, that could be recreated. I love when someone takes the time to bring a book to life. For example, this guy,
Harry
Dune.
Potter.
Hold on. Dune, okay? Dune with this director, whose name is very long, I can't say. But he's so adamant to bring back the book to life in a movie, staying completely true to the script. Every description, every character, everything like that. And it shows in the work that he's putting out there for it, Are
you going to give it a fair chance?
It depends on who the final cast is.
Even no matter what the cast.
No.
Would you not give it a chance?
No, I would not give it a chance. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. I absolutely loved the prequel that they did for the Hunger Games series.
Mm-hmm.
A Ballad of Song
Ballad of
Snakes.
Song and Snakes.
Right. Okay. That one. It was about snow. Amazing book. I was so invested into that book that I even convinced you to read it because it was so amazing. Yes. I did not think that they were going to be able to carry the energy of the first 3 movies into something that was a prequel. And it blew my mind with how well it was written. And then they put the movie. And then this is what they do. In the movie, this is one of the main characters is a guy. We're going to make it a girl. And here, this girl saves this girl. But you know what? Nah, let's make the hero save the girl so it looks better for the screen. And it's like, at the end, it was like, what did you give me?
Yeah, but
this was not the book at all.
But Suzanne, what's her name? Suzanne Collins did not have a play in that movie.
And who is not involved in the making of the TV series as well?
No, ma'am. She is involved step by step. She said that the whole point of this series is to be fair and straight with the book.
So maybe that's true. And maybe there's misinformation out there because I've also seen a statement from her saying that she's not being consulted on things.
Let's see.
So, bro,
Google.
No.
Go while you're talking.
No, I don't have anything else to talk about. I feel like I've had to fill in the blanks so much this
I've
episode.
had to fill in? You've had to fill in?
Yeah, because
Why?
It's like I have to think about like what to say in these moments where you're gone.
With the Googling? Bro, I've Googled 3 times.
Bro.
3 times. 4 times max.
Bro.
What's the name of the lady? From Harry Potter.
Hold on, I have Collins in my mind.
I know. So do I.
Hold on.
I have Suzette.
Shh. I'm looking. Because she has its initials.
Got it. I'm not going to tell you, though.
Okay. J.K. Rowling's. I just needed a moment. And if anyone thinks that I was cheating, my books are over there. And I don't even think that I can see from here.
J.K. Rowling will serve as the executive producer on the series. This is a direct quote from from HBO and Max CEO Casey Bloys. It is confirmed that she will be involved in the new Harry Potter series as an executive.
That's
producer.
good. That's good. And just because she's involved, though, doesn't mean that she could not okay changes for the sake of the climate.
It's possible. It's possible that there could be changes.
How she could allow that if it's her work, I don't know. So
it's
sometimes I think that the fans are more adamant about things than maybe the author. For example, Game of Thrones. Let me think about his name.
J.R. Martin. George Martin. George.
Yes, George Martin, but it's like
George.
I think it's
George
like R.R. Martin.
R.R. Martin.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. They went ahead without him, doing things and moving in different ways and all that stuff, and he didn't mind it. Also with Walking Dead, same thing. They weren't even done with the writing, and they decided we're going to implement.
The problem with Walking Dead was the fact that they went too fast.
I know, but I'm saying if the authors themselves are like, it's fine.
Bro, Walking Dead was great.
It was.
It was great until they started to deviate from the book, from the comics. And then,
well, no, you can't say that. You can't say that because then that means that Daryl wouldn't exist. And Daryl was a fantastic addition.
Yes.
From the onset of Walking Dead.
But those are little things that you can add to it to enhance it.
No, I feel like then we're being contradictory of ourselves. If we say you have to stay true to the text, and then
the problem is
that
they
one was a good addition.
But they started to make up stuff, and it just like when they went to where were they?
Alexandria.
It got really but right before. Oh goodness. The prison. So it was when they were fighting the governor, it was good. Mm-hmm. That whole thing was really, really good, right? And then after that, they started. That's when they went and found Negan, right?
No, not yet.
No, it was.
No, then they went to where the cannibals were.
Right, and then
they went to Alexandria, and then that's where they encountered Negan.
Well, when the storyline of Negan, that's where they caught up to where the comics were. Then they just started to just invent stuff afterwards. That's where it just started to really like lose its luster. And the thing about it too is like you're talking about holding on, because on a book, on a page, you can write about something and you can keep something going as long as you want to. But the guy who the kid who now is an adult, who played Carl, like he was done with the series. Even Rick, like he was done with the series. He had done the series for like 10 years or something. And it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm tired.
You can't fault them, right? Because the fans want to keep watching you. I think the same thing happened with Friends, where they were ready to move into different places, especially the ones who had bigger movie roles coming up, different opportunities coming up. You also you can't realistically stay as Rachel in Friends for the rest of your life. It's
Of
not going to
course.
go on 50 years, you know. You're not in a
Bro,
soap opera. Except if you're in a soap opera,
except
though.
if you're in a soap opera.
Because there
hold
is
on.
people who
Okay.
have been there since they were 20 and they are 60 years old and they're in the soap opera.
This is the thing that
That's crazy.
This is what I don't understand sometimes, though. So they were making back then, right? You got to think about like when it was the 10th season of Friends. They were making $1 million an episode. They were banking money, like they were making money. It's not today's money that they pay some of these guys, which I think is ridiculous anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But they were making, top dollar for that time. If they were to run the series for just a couple more seasons, they would have. Oh look, Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes is right there.
Songbirds.
Of Songbirds and Snakes. Squirrel. They were making the money that was unheard of.
Right.
Right? And they wanted to walk away from that character because they didn't want to be typecast. But, the character of Joey was typecast and he did a spinoff because he wasn't ready to go.
Poor thing. And isn't that exactly what Joey would have done, though?
It is.
It's so
But
sad
that's,
to
okay,
me.
But that's the character. That's where they put some of themselves into the character. Right? And then you have...
Even in the reunion, when they all got together and Joey was there among them, I felt like Joey was just still Joey amongst them.
That's who he is.
But
Outside
it just
of that,
felt
is even
like
the same
he was
person.
just so happy to have everybody back together, and I've missed you all, and it's just and what a
each
thing
one-
that was filmed just a couple of years before Matthew Perry died.
Yeah. And the thing...
Was Matthew Perry related to Luke Perry?
No, I don't think so.
It just so happens that they have the same last name?
Let's see.
Because Luke Perry's also dead.
Yeah, but he had cancer.
Oh, is that what happened? I didn't know what happened to him.
Matt Goo Perry.
Oh, okay. Well, all this predictive text and smart messaging and all this stuff is for nothing.
Let's see. They are not.
Do
They
you
are
know
not
that
related. They do not share any familiar relationship. No, not at all.
where are we at? I'm wondering because it just feels like we've been talking for a long time and we can go in many
bit over an
circles
hour.
here. A little bit over an hour? No.
Yep.
Do you want to play a game?
Sure.
A very quick game.
Go for it.
I think no, we can't.
Yes, we can.
Well, but there was something you told me that you wanted to talk about.
Doesn't matter.
But it was
Next
about
time.
no, it was about the theater. That's why I had brought it
Go.
up.
But you're going to play a game.
I know, but I had brought it up because
I'm not as spicy anymore.
oh cheese and crackers, cheese and crackers.
I'm not as spicy. You want me? I can talk about it really quick.
Because
I'm gonna put it out
Because
there.
I was thinking about the theater. That doesn't happen in the theater.
It doesn't happen in the theater.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tell.
Okay.
Do tell.
All right. So yesterday we went to the Savannah Bananas game. Right. We were super excited because the last time that we went to the Savannah Bananas game, we had absolutely no idea what was going on. We were completely lost. Right. So we went this time understanding what was going on, how the innings
And what was
worked,
going to happen.
what was going to happen. Like I remember last time, like the Bananas scored and they won the inning, and all of a sudden everyone comes off the field before there was any outs. And I was like, what's going on? And we were like looking up on our phone, trying to figure out what are the rules. And we had no idea. But this time we understood it. So like when there was an inning where the Bananas scored to win the inning, we were jumping up and out of our seats and screaming because we knew what was going on. We understood.
Yeah, we were as invested as in a Major League Baseball game.
Absolutely. So we were just like
In it.
We were dialed in.
And then
But what we realized yesterday, what got me, I'm getting spicy. what got me irked, it just upset me, was the amount of times that people get up and out of their seats. And you start looking around, and it's like, up, down, come in. Excuse me, I'm coming through, going this way. Oh, this is my last time. I'm so sorry. Oh, up and down, up and down.
It's so annoying.
It's so annoying. And then they stand up in front of you, and they're like, I don't even know what to do because of the thing. But
you know what my favorite is? When people are like, oh, excuse me, gotta get through. And it's not even their row.
It's not, yeah.
You're going all the way across our row to go to the front row.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that to the people in front of you then? And they knew where they were sitting because the wife was like, oh, over here.
Right. They had split tickets. So they had some seats in the front, some seats in the back.
And yet everybody who went across from us sat in the front.
The three boys that were in front of us, they're 14, 15, 16 years old, whatever.
Can you blame children, though?
Bro, I almost smacked them.
But your children. It's the adults. Up and down and up and down and up.
I know, but the amount
How many times did we get up?
Well, I got up once because
I asked you for water.
For water.
That's it.
And that
Do
was
you think we needed to use the
bathroom?
bathroom?
After sitting there for almost 4 hours.
Okay.
It was ridiculous.
We are the best people for people to sit around. And we had like corner seats, right? Mm-hmm. And we pick that on purpose just so we don't disturb people. We're right there. We don't have to be telling you, hey, excuse me or anything. I just wonder how many of our viewers are people who get up a lot and who they're going to be like, oops, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
If you're one of those people, let us know in the comments because like, can you explain?
Put a thumbs up if you are one of those people, like you're raising your hand like that's me. Right. I did that. And put a thumbs down if you hate.
No, wait.
And you are not the...
Stop.
What?
Because you're going to not like the comments? No.
What? No, it's a comment of a thumbs down.
No, bro.
What are you talking about?
You're going to get people to like not like the video.
Why are you saying that?
Because that's what a thumbs up and thumbs down is for.
No, honey. Don't click the thumbs. And that's...
thumbs up emoji.
It's a comment.
No.
They understand. No. Also put in there if you understand what I meant, please.
Put a thumbs up,
emoji. They know that.
Well, you need to say it.
Oh my
thumbs up
God.
emoji or a thumbs down emoji in the comments. Make a comment and write it in, please. Not give us thumbs down.
Bro.
We don't want that.
They know.
Well,
I find it so annoying. And if that's you, I am annoyed at you.
Anyways. At the end of the game yesterday, we talked about that, and I was just like, it was just ridiculous. And then we started thinking, when we went to Monster Jam, it was the same thing. Up and down and up and down. The people
when we go to baseball games.
The people that were next to us in Monster Jam, how many times did they get up? Like 40 times. It was so annoying.
And then they wouldn't come back. Sometimes they would come back with food. Sometimes they wouldn't come back with food.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Where are you going? What do you, like,
why do we always have to sit next to people?
Because it's everybody.
There's got to be more people like us out there.
Well, maybe they should put that as an option in the tickets.
Where are we? I don't know if we have time for a game.
Yes, we do. Go.
Okay.
Go. Anyways,
1 round.
That was my rant. Because enough was enough. And like you said, it doesn't happen in the theater.
Why?
Because they don't allow you.
No, there's nobody there monitoring you.
Yes,
I think people are invested in
that crazy the crazy lady when we went to go see the Nutcracker. She was like,
no, that's not the theater I meant.
What theater? The movie theater?
Yeah.
No, because people are watching a movie. You can't get
So you're not watching a game.
The game is there. How many people are on their phone? How many people are doing 10,000 things?
I guess. Oh, but you meant in the opera, like
the
a
Nutcracker,
theater.
A theater.
Okay.
Go.
So I thought it would be fun if we played Heads Up.
Heads Up.
Movie edition.
Oh God.
1 round you, 1 round me. All right, and whoever scores the most wins. Because you said that you do like playing games with me, but you don't like losing. So I felt this could be even because there could be movies that I don't understand what you're telling me.
Okay.
So I think it's not
we go.
it's not set up to be
Here we go.
just, you know. So let's see. It's
Here we go.
called Blockbuster Movies. Okay.
Here we go.
I don't want instant replay. Sure. All right. Okay. Are you ready?
Oh God, here we go. What do I have to do?
You have to describe it to me so I can guess it.
Pass.
I think that was for
They
us.
go walking with a gold circle that goes on your fingers, and they have to
Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Okay, see, I did that wrong, so that we
No,
have
you
to take
just
one
did
off.
pass.
No,
You
pass
just-
is down.
No, you just passed it. Bro, you can't even do this right. You just passed
It
it.
doesn't matter.
No,
we know.
restart it.
Oh no, I don't think so. Oh, pass is up.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I just said that.
No,
you had
because-
to see it for yourself. I was lying to you.
Listen, I'm pretty sure. So I passed up, but I was supposed to do it. Damn it! I was doing so good.
No, you weren't.
You passed one, and I guess Lord of the Rings. I was doing good. Don't even start with me.
Here we go.
Go. And speak faster, please.
Leave me alone. Pass. Pass. So Woody.
Toy Story.
I want to see this movie, but you don't. And if they get wet, they turn into evil ones.
Gremlins.
Jack Black.
Tropic Thunder.
No, it's a cartoon, and there's fighting.
Kung Fu Panda.
Green goes on his face. The dog also wears it.
The Mask.
Pass.
Jeez.
Pass. Pass. Freddy Krueger.
Scary movie. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Al Pacino. It's hot.
It's hot. The Devil's Advocate.
No.
Oh,
You just said, I'll take it.
I'll give yourself a point. Wait, what was hot?
The Heat.
What?
The movie Heat with Al Pacino.
Oh, geez, look at this. We have a
The recording.
recording. Share your video. I'm gonna share it to you just in case you can use it. All
Okay.
right, your turn. Here.
My turn.
Your turn. And this is it. This is where we close. Oh, I love this.
All right, hold on.
Kung Fu Panda.
Wait, hold on. Ready? Here we go. Ready?
Okay.
I suck at this.
Remember down. Pass. Pass. Okay. Who plays Michael Scott? Okay. Steve Carell, but he's
You answered your own question.
yes, but in a movie where he hasn't had sex.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yes. Oh, oh my God, George Lucas did this movie with Harrison Ford.
Indiana Jones.
Yes, but which one?
Raiders of the Lost
Yes. Oh my gosh, a deer. A deer. Cartoon. Disney.
The Boogly one?
A deer. Disney. The most famous deer in
Oh,
Disney. There you go. Oh, God. Pass. Oh my God, my favorite movie is behind me, my book.
Jurassic Park.
Yes. Ew. Pass. Pass. Damn it. Terrible movies. Oh, I didn't even see how many I got.
4.
For you?
For you.
I got 4?
Oh, I don't know.
Dang it. I'm pretty sure you beat me. Can you see the movies? Who plays Matthew Scott? Matthew Scott.
Here. You do it again.
Why?
Because we're going to try one more time.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That was horrible.
I didn't want to have. I didn't want to say sex.
Sex?
I didn't want to say that.
What word?
The children. Okay.
All right, here we go. Boubou Joui Chez Assez Soir. C'est soir.
Moulin Rouge.
Vampires, they run really fast. Bella.
Oh my God. Twilight.
Pass. This is the bare necessity.
Jungle Book.
Freedom.
Braveheart. That's 4.
Pass. Pass. I love that movie. Oh, I pass. Pass. So when you die, the thing that
Coffin.
no
Tombstone.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
We just
That's
talked
a
about
good
this.
movie.
They were. I can't say the words. Never mind. It's done.
What was it?
Memoirs of a Geisha.
Okay. You know what movie I had? I had No Country for Old Men, and I was like, I know the movie, but how do I
Yeah.
describe that to you?
There were movies that the same
How
thing.
do I describe that? Carrie was on there.
Oh, you got Carrie.
Oh.
You had Carrie for you.
Oh, okay. Last round.
Hold on.
Boom. I want to know if do you think anybody's able to see it from where they're watching? Are they able to answer the questions before we answer?
I'm sure.
Oh, no, but it's not fair.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Because you're able to see.
Ready?
All right, this is it. Skip. Oh, dun 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 dun.
Pink Panther?
Yes. Oh no, pass. Pass. Okay. Demi Moore. She's in the military.
G.I. Jane.
Yes. Oh, we just saw this. Hank and this girl, and they.
You got mayo?
No, the other one that they did together. The other one they
Sleepless
did.
in Seattle.
Yes. Oh my God, my favorite! If I were a rich man.
Fiddle on the Roof.
What do the children call me?
Mama?
Other word for mama?
Mother?
Yes. Oh, Liam Nielsen movie, famous.
I'll find you and I'll kill you?
Yes.
I don't know.
Taken.
Oh.
No. What do you mean?
I got 5.
And how many did I get?
Do the right thing. I don't know. I don't remember. Hold on. Oh, I have him here. Pink Panther?
That was fun.
Let's see.
See, and there's even so many more movies that we have not watched. You should shut that off.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to share it.
Well, we don't need a replay video because
we have it recorded.
yeah, but exactly.
Let's see. 3, 2, 1. It doesn't tell you.
It doesn't tell you. Anyway, if anybody watched all the way up to here, they can tell us who won.
Me.
Do a calculation.
I
you
won.
may have won. I will give you that you have won. Hey, that's pretty cool. We can do heads up if there's any other subject that comes up that we talk about. Do you remember? This is the last thing.
Test our abilities.
Do you remember when we played heads up with people that we used to know? Isn't there a song that says someone that I used to know?
Yes.
Okay, that's what came to my mind. That's another thing that happens. Not only do we
can't
give
do that.
each other movie quotes,
Song quotes?
but sometimes you say something and then all of a sudden you break out into song because that's the song that pops into your head. But we were doing animals, something so simple, and a narwhal came out. a toucan came out, a narwhal and a toucan. And do you remember that there was a person
who said they don't exist?
They don't exist. That's not a real animal. We said
Poor.
the animal in the Fruit Loops box, and they're like, well, that's a cartoon. That's not real. Like, wait, it's a toucan, and they're like, the toucan is not real.
Have you ever been to the zoo? Come on, people.
Actually,
hey, we didn't see one.
But it was supposed to be in the Amazon. Also, we kind
yeah.
of just sort of like dashed through.
Well, hold on.
It was very, very full when we went.
But the birds, the other stuff on the other side, the bird thing was closed. Remember they had the cages pulled over?
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. Anyways. Awesome. And what are we going to go do right now, Peter?
Watch a movie.
I don't know, Margot.
We're going to watch a movie.
We're going to watch a
movie.
movie.
I wonder what movie. Miss Obsession.
No, that's why I gave you a different list.
How are you going to walk away from your obsession?
I'm going to watch it by myself.
But why?
Can I tell you?
This is the stuff that you do.
Yeah, because I don't like watching something
let me finish.
that I want to watch if you don't want to watch it.
Let me finish.
Except Gone with the Wind, because you promised me.
Let me finish.
Go.
This is the stuff that you do sometimes that I don't get.
Do you like my socks?
This is the end of the episode.
Do you like them?
Your unicorn, is that a unicorn with a dog on top? Oh, look, they go together.
Yeah. He's in the ocean, riding a floaty.
Oh, on a floaty. Got it. Anyways, anything else that you would like to say?
Roll end credits.
And cut. What did we see? Oh, in the game. So the party animals, when they scored, they came out and they had a choreographed celebration of the score, and then there was a fan challenge. So they have a minute to do the fan challenge, and the entire party animals team froze in whatever position they were in until they confirmed the call. They scored the points, and then they went into their celebration. I thought that was great.
That was great. I wasn't even sure what was happening at that point. Why were they so still?
Whatever. It was great.
Fantastic.
Anyways, if you enjoyed our episode today, if you made it through an hour and a half.
No, bro. We can't keep people that long.
Listen,
people have a life.
I know. And they enjoy listening to us. If they want to listen to us, they can listen to us. If they don't, they can cut this episode in two, and then they have extra time to listen to throughout the week. Like, we could probably talk for like 3 hours here.
I apologize.
Okay? No apologies. No apologies. Comment if you enjoy longer episodes.
What if everyone is like, please keep them shorter? We actually wanted shorter episodes. 30 minutes or less.
Comment if you like the longer episodes. Yes. Comment if you
already have thumbs up, thumbs down.
Listen,
comment if this. Comment how many points.
Comment if you like the longer episodes. If you don't like the longer episodes,
put a thumbs down.
Don't stop talking, bro.
You missed. I think that shaved a couple inches off my hair.
Listen, if you like the longer episodes, comment and let us know that you like the longer episodes. If you don't like the longer episodes, don't comment at all. We don't want to hear it. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, comment.
Why is it just
do
funny
stuff.
to us?
It doesn't matter. This is the point.
Do you know what's the funniest thing is that when I re-listen to the podcast, when you show me little clips, I laugh at the exact same.
Can we talk about this for a second?
No,
you don't listen to our podcast.
And how many actors do you know that rewatch their episodes?
You're not an actor.
No,
bro. You know how many times I tell you every single day, I laugh so much at our episodes. I enjoy our episodes. Just like you like
But-
to go back and look at your read receipts, this is my read receipts.
Yeah.
Listen to the episode. Watch it.
I'm listening to Business
It
Wars.
doesn't matter. That's all stuff you can listen to later.
Actually, I'm listening to Dracula.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, do all that good stuff. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, if you want to or not. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the episode.
If we don't like your comment, we'll just delete it. So, feel free to speak your mind.
Feel free to speak your mind. Leah, we're talking about you. Bye, guys. See you next time.